What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, there is a lot of negativity out in the market right now, just around the game. FUD is everywhere, and it really feels like the holiday season if you're a bear. So, and I guess I am Papa Bear, so it is what it is. That being said, I don't mean to make light of the situation. I am down big on this. I am not happy. It sucks. And I honestly, let me be very honest with you. I don't feel like making content anymore. I kind of think that I should take a break because I feel like I don't have anything good to say. And you know, that whole, like, if you don't have anything good to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. So I wanted to make this video because there were a couple of good things that I wanted to say, and then we'll see what happens from here. But there's two things that I am bullish on within Splinterlands, or at least coming up for Splinterlands within hopefully the next couple of months. I'd like to say within Q1, but I am open to being patient and waiting through Q2, so we'll call it the next 6 months. And that is, well, two things that have nothing to do with the actual Splinterlands game itself. The first of which, and this is probably the bigger one, so I'll start here, is actually tower defense. Okay, so the two that I'm going to talk about are tower defense and Genesis League goals. So, and the reason that I'm getting into these is because I've been saying it for a while, and this is not a like I told you so, but there's no fixing the economy for Splinterlands right now within the game. Right, there's too many things that the team hasn't addressed and will not be addressing for the foreseeable future. And, they're going to go into their planning, and that's great. Like, they're going to do all that, and map out what the roadmap for 2023 looks like, but it's going to take implementation. It's going to take a while for that implementation to actually come into the mix. So I don't expect anything, like nothing's going to save these prices. So, something like SPS is already below 2 cents or already below 3 cents. I fully expect this to continue to dive no matter what happens in macro. But when we talk about the bullish things, okay, so we got all the bearish stuff out. You guys came here for the bullish stuff, so I want to deliver on that. Tower defense, I do believe, has the opportunity to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, positive impacts to the game economy. And the reason that I say that is very, very speculative. We don't have many details, right? Now, for those who may not be familiar, tower defense, the Splinterlands tower defense game is being developed by a different studio, Double Coconut, that is working in conjunction with the Splinterlands team. They have been working on it for a while. I've been following their dev diaries. I don't know if they've posted one in a bit, but it's coming along, and the initial plan was for it to be out sometime in Q1, which is why I'm hopeful that they can still hit that Q1 deadline. Now, why am I bullish on tower defense? It's because it's a blank slate. And right now, there's some very serious problems with the game economy. SPS has no utility. They're trying to push the utility to what little utility that SPS had. They're trying to push over to DEC, and there's just way too much DEC. So we all are waiting for land to be this, magic bullet that's going to eat up a ton of cards, going to eat up a ton of DEC, which gets the flywheel going. But that's not happening until 2024, right? Like, just being honest with you guys, right? It's not happening until 2024 because if we get functional land by the end of 2023, it's going to take a while for that to actually eat through the DEC. It's not going to happen overnight. So I would fully expect like 18 months from now for this flywheel to go into effect if nothing else were to happen, which is why I'm hopeful that tower defense can be this kind of, Swiss Army knife for the team. And I don't know how collaborative in terms of the process they can be with Double Coconut, but if there's still stuff that's in the development phase or stuff that's still in the design phase that isn't like, impossible or takes a long time to actually implement, I'm hopeful that we get a couple of things with tower defense, some of which they've mentioned and some of which, we're still waiting on further details on. Now, when it comes to SPS utility, again, I don't mind them putting everything over to the flywheel, but they have not been able to maintain PEG or protect it, right, for that matter. So my hope is that there will be significant DE syncs within the game that offer some value within the game, right? So people want to play this game. They want to enjoy it. They want, it's going to offer something different for people who are already in the Splinterlands ecosystem, as well as maybe people who are outside looking for a good tower defense game built on I don't want to say good economy, but a robust economy, because we're not a good economy yet. We have a good mechanism in place for when things turn around. But if your stablecoin is supposed to be, if you're 32% below your stablecoin, I wouldn't call this a good economy. And I would actually say that's probably one of the biggest reasons why a lot of investors are staying away right now. It's because they're not sure that this economy they're not sure that the economy can function in a bear market, right? So in a bull market, nobody cares, and that's the great thing about a bull market. But we don't know when that's actually going to happen yet. So DEC getting some functionality, some burn mechanisms and some sinks within tower defense, I think would be great, because there's a lot of folks out there, myself included, that want to play tower defense just for the game aspect of it. I think it could be fun. I think it could add a cool online element, a cool streaming element. And if they can deliver those types of sinks where it doesn't feel like a tax, it doesn't feel like an extra, it doesn't feel like they're doing it just to do it, but it's actually giving you some awesome things in game, and you can bring in more people with that, I think that'd be great. The other thing too that they want that we know that they want to test is SPS staking. So you will have to be staking X amount of SPS within the Splinterlands game in order to play tower defense, or sorry, not to play, but in order to earn in the tower defense game. So I'm hopeful that should give some kind of utility, or a little bit more utility, to the SPS token. Again, most of it they're trying to push out over to to DEC, but it's not a bad idea to require some kind of stake in the game in order to earn rewards, or at least higher rewards. So those are probably the two big things that I'm excited about with tower defense. And again, because I'm no longer, I'm not bullish on land. I don't think land's going to do anything for another year anyway. So I'm just trying to figure out what are some of those things. And I think tower defense can be that Swiss Army knife. Sure, we got soulbound reward cards. I don't know how or if that'll affect the economy in the way that they're intending it to. We got guild alliances that could be, a potential DEC sync. But all of this stuff, again, I think is going to take a while to develop, and the team is just an idea phase right now, at least from what it seems like in their past couple of town halls. So due to the fact that tower defense is in active development, my hope is that it can come in and be used as a way to help fix a lot of the economy issues until the rest of the development for the game can come in. When we get guild alliances, when we get upgrades to guilds and tournaments, and then eventually land in 2023, 2024, right? So that is my hope for tower defense. The other side is Genesis League goals. And I know this one also has even less to do with the Splinterlands game itself, but there is an element there of reaching a broader audience. And the reason I'm excited about this is because at least there is a time frame. The season for the season for the MLS begins in, I think preseason's actually in January, and the first games are in like February or March. So that is Q1. We don't know where development is for the game right now. The team's been great about, they adding in staking rewards, airdrop. Now we got pack staking, and I think we're going to get pre-sale number 2 sometime early in January. So I don't know where the game is at yet. I would be really, really surprised as well as disappointed if we see this game not come out within Q1 or Q2, right? Ideally, Q1 would make sense because it's just like start of the season. You got all these cards, here we go. Q2, by the end of Q2, and if we go into Q3, like half the season is over already. And if they're going to be releasing, sets on a yearly basis, then why would you waste half the season, right? So I just feel like there is a ticking clock there, and hopefully this is a deadline that they can hit. Now, why would Genesis League be awesome for Splinterlands itself? Mainly because the SPS staking for the airdrop. If we can get a broader audience, right? So I'm not talking about just people interested in fantasy games or tangentially interested in Splinterlands or tower defense style games, but the broader soccer, and I know in the US, soccer/football audience that's out there. to be interested in a game that could come in. Again, this is reaching a bunch of other folks who are already crypto savvy or at least crypto adjacent and want to get into something that is MLS related. You could bring those folks in, and as they learn more about the project, they could see some kind of value in getting into Splinterlands as well. Now, I know, such a stretch, right? But there is one thing tying everything together, and that is the staking, SPS staking, which gives you the GLX airdrop. Now, right now, you can see GLX has dropped quite a bit too, but GLX has the potential to hit its flywheel much sooner than SPS. And what we could see, excuse me, what we can end up seeing is if GLS starts to go up because people are burning it for GLUSD, that creates an amazing opportunity with SPS continuing to dive. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see sub 2 cents, sub 1 cent. If this thing goes under a penny, like again, I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised because there's no use case for the next 3 months outside of whatever tower defense can deliver. And now if we're talking about GLX or GLG, if SPS continues to go down, and GLX starts to rise because you need to do things in-game for the Genesis League Goals game where you need to burn some GLX in order to, get GLUSD, rent cards, pay fees, whatever the case is that will be part of that ecosystem. SPS goes down, GLX goes up. That APR starts to look ridiculous, right? Because now it's just so much cheaper to buy so much more SPS. So again, if you get people who are coming in who just like the GLG game, but they're already on Hive, it's not difficult to go sign up for Splinterlands and create an account and all that. And they can see like, hey, if I want to get more GLX and, because of the diverging prices for each of these tokens, like instead of staking GLX at that point, because obviously the APR for GLX is going to continue to fall, they can go and get quite a bit of SPS and get a good return. Now, if we go check it out right now, just for context, I am curious, but it's still significantly within the favor of like just going and buying GLX for what it is, right? But let's just put some stuff in here, and you can see that staking SPS is going to get you 52% versus 541%. So obviously, this is going to continue to fall over time as more and more GLX gets unstaked. But if SPS falls, right, because the APR here is very much determined, very much determined by the value of GLX as well as the value of vouchers, and vouchers are pretty much nothing, right? So at this point, if GLX continues to go up and SPS continues to go down, that could create more people coming in and buying SPS. Now, this isn't flywheel related, right? Because they don't care about DEC. They're buying SPS solely for GLX. And there's a chance that they could dump. But hopefully, if they view it as like, well, I'm going to buy SPS when it's low so that I can get GLX. And then if SPS pumps, that's great, right? They would hold until SPS pumped to a significant amount. So those are the two things that I'm probably most bullish on. I know people are going to look at this and be like, yeah, that's not much, right? Especially because we're not talking about anything within the Splinterlands game itself, but that's just where I'm at. That's just where I'm at. The reason, again, is the time frame, because people are salty as hell right now. Just go spend any time in Discord or MAF chat. It is not fun to be around Splinterlands. It's not fun to be around any of these Discords for a lot of the projects. So I don't want to just pick on Splinterlands. I mean, it's a rough go in the market right now. But the problem is that we're in a lull period for Splinterlands where there's like not much happening between now and the end of the year. And even when we get to the beginning of the year, a lot of stuff, it's going to be a while until it can be implemented. So with that being said, since we don't have timeframes for that, the better timeframes, or at least the more hopeful, optimistic timeframes that I have from a bullish perspective, is that we will get tower defense and GLG at some point within Q1, which could really help the overall Splinterlands economy, or at least have the potential to help the overall Splinterlands economy. And if tower defense moves to Q2, I mean, even if they both move to Q2, we will at least be getting more information in that time frame. Like I hope that there's no radio silence for all of Q1, right? Like I would hope that we're going to get updates from Double Coconut and Hardpoint and Tower Defense on what's happening and what potential things we might need, because then people may start stacking up or stocking up on different assets within the game, such as vouchers, such as DEC, if you know that you're going to use it in the tower defense game. And then, flip side, same thing with GLG, although that's more from an SPS play. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Again, trying to keep it bullish and optimistic. I know there's a lot of negativity out there, and I don't blame you, right? I don't blame you. I'm feeling it too. So just wanted to put that on your radar, that hopefully we can expect these at some point in Q1, which means they are 3 months or so away. Again, delays can happen, but I would say that the fact that, hopefully Double Coconut didn't go through a massive layoff or whatever, similar to what happened with Splinterlands, they've continued working on the game. And then on the GLG side, they have every incentive to get this out in Q1 with the start of the season and launch and use that momentum when the season for the MLS actually kicks off. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.